Let's see. Today we're actually going to learn how to make an enemy AI, an artificial intelligence. Of course, we have to go ahead and make a player and an enemy. So let's go ahead and create the player there. Create the sprite, enemy, and let's go ahead and make them, I don't know, 70 by 70. Do that. This is the enemy, so we'll make him a red outline and red eyes and a red mouth. Yeah, there we go. The enemy is sad, you know, because he's the bad guy, and that's a bad thing, so he's sad. Anyways, okay, let's go ahead and center the enemy. Then for the player, we'll make the player 64 by 64. Let's see. Let's go ahead and make it like blue, something like that. And we'll make the player an oval. Yeah, there we go. And we'll give it dotted eyes and a smile. Or something like a smile. There we go. And let's go ahead and crop this with 0 borders and center it. There we go. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this into an object. Object, player. Just like that. Create another object. And we'll do object enemy, and we'll give this one the enemy sprite. There we go. Then create a room, and we'll just call this, I don't know, RM test. Yeah, why not? Let's do 60 for the speed. And yeah, let's just do it like that. Then inside the room, let's go ahead and put both of the objects in here. Object player. Oops, it's not trying to do that. And then object enemy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make it like a timer. Okay, the enemy's going to have a timer, almost kind of like a ATB bar kind of like deal. For like an RPG or something like that, we'll give the enemy a timer, and we'll be able to see the timer, just so that we can know if everything's happening correctly. And when that timer hits 0, the enemy will pick what the enemy is going to do. Yeah. And the player will just have basic movement, so we'll deal with the player later. Let's go ahead and start working on the enemy now. So let's open up the enemy. And let's go ahead and add an event, and we'll make some variables in here. Variables, yeah, that's very creative. Let's see. Let's do we're gonna need a timer. So let's call it act timer. It's gonna equal, for now, we'll just start it off at a default of 2 seconds, which is either 120 or 60 times. Where's the times? Or 60 times 2. Yeah, this microphone is kind of in the way of my typing, so I'm trying to work around it. Alright. And the only reason why this is a second is because we put the speed of our room to 60. So it's going to do 60 frames in 1 second. So in order to make this be a default of 2 seconds, we just times 60 by 2. Okay. When 0, enemy will attack. Now we need a variable so that the enemy can pick what attack the enemy wants to do. So we'll call that variable action. and it's going to equal nothing right now. Yeah, we're gonna have an actual, we're gonna set the value of action later. Actually, we're just setting up all the variables right now. Use to select an action. All right, and we have the action here, we have this here, and why not, we'll do this through an alarm. So let's go ahead and do alarm 0, and that's going to start off with 3 seconds. We'll start it off at 3 seconds. This is used to set enemies next action. All right, so now we have our 3 variables, and like I do a lot anyways, I'm going to keep these variables open just so that we can see what's going on. There we go. But first I'm going to close it, then I'm going to open it. Let's save. All right, let's go ahead and create alarm 0. This is going to decide what attack enemy will do. Okay, so here what we're going to do is when this alarm is activated, it's going to make action equal. Let's come up here and let's delete this from here. And we're going to make action a local variable. So action will equal, choose either 1, 2, and 3. Let's say he has only 3 attacks, all right? So we're gonna do that. Go back up to the top, and we're going to set the random, which pretty much means we're just going to do the randomize, and that's it. All right, now we need to check what action the enemy is going to do. And we're going to do this with a switch. You could do it with an if, but in this case, might as well use a switch. Apparently it has better performance and it runs faster than the if statements does. And we're going to switch action. There we go. This will be action 1. Let's do this. Let's make the first action action 1, but let's go ahead and give ourselves a reference. And this will be move. So his first action will be move. All right, let's go ahead and set up action 2. His second action will be shoot. I guess we'll make a bullet in a second. And action 3 will be, see, we have a move, we have a shoot, and we have a heal. Why not? Heals. All right, so now since we see that we have shoot, move, and heal, we know that we need to come up here and make HP. And we'll do it at 350. There we go. We're also going to give, no, we'll do that with the player. All right. Let's save. All right, so moving. Whenever this alarm is going to happen, the enemy is going to move either to the left or to the right, up or down. So there's going to be four different directions the enemy can move. Let's see. So we'll make another local variable, and we'll call this dar equals choose 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, yes, we don't need to put this here again because we already did it once, but sometimes it seemed to not work when I only had one here, so I'll just put this here again just to make sure nothing happens. Let's see. So now let's go ahead and switch. There. And it's pretty much the same concept. This is pretty basic, or not basic, well, kind of basic and simple setup. But the main idea of this is that you get a foundation, a structure, a concept of exactly how you will make artificial intelligence. Yeah, you can do a lot more complex things, big time, but just starting off with a little bit of the basics. Yes, this is actually allowing you to make, well, enemy AI. So we'll call this one up. Oops. And up will be 1. Just like that. We'll go down. That will be 2. Just like that. We'll go left, which will be 3. And we'll go right, which will be 4. There we go. Okay, so now we'll make the enemy move. We're moving up, so y minus equals 50, just so that we can actually see the movements and all that kind of stuff. Plus equals 50. This is going to be x minus equal 50, and x plus equals, or plus equal 50. There we go. And we have the movement action set. The shoot we'll do in a second, because we're going to have to make the bullet and all that kind of stuff. So let's go on to heal. What happens here is HP plus equals 10. Just like that. So we have the heal. Now the shoot. There's actually a lot of ways you can do this. You can have him shoot a sprite alone and move the sprite across the x-axis or y-axis or whatever, all that kind of stuff. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually make the bullets and we're going to put it into an object. So sprite bullets are... Wait, what? Bullets. And let's go ahead and do... what? 87 by 15. 87 by 15, yeah. That'll work. We can also see the bullet now. Let's do that. And then let's make a red. Yeah. And we're going to center the Y. We're going to keep the X. I'm just going to put it at 0. Then let's go ahead and make the object bullet. Object bullets. Do that. And what we'll do is we'll make the bullet shoot in the direction the player, or the location the player is at. So moving towards player. What does it move towards point? Yeah, this is right. Okay. obj player.x, obj player.y, and the speed will be, I mean, it's a bullet, so why not 7, I guess. That should be pretty fast for a bullet. Not really. Let's go to 14. Double that. All right, cool. And just to make sure the game doesn't lack in performance, let's go to other, outside room, and do instant destroy. Destroy self if out of. Alright, so we have the bullets there. Perfect. So now in here, what will happen is we'll do instance create. Yeah, let's do X and Y. And the object we're going to create will be object bullets. Yep, just like that. Cool. Let's go back to the object bullet, and I forgot something. Let's do collision with player. And we'll just do instance destroy. Alright, so we actually have our artificial intelligence set up right now. But before we do anything else, let's go ahead, close this down. We're going to add a draw event here. Test drawing for info. First is first. Have to draw self. All right, and then we're going to draw the timer and the HP and the alarm as well, because we need to make sure every last thing is actually working correctly. So we're making our own little debugging information on screen. Let's go ahead and do draw text, and this is going to be at, I guess we'll start it at 30, 20. And we're going to add the string action timer, just like that. Add a space, plus string ACT timer, just like that. And then we're pretty much going to repeat the same thing. We'll do it at 30, but next we're going to drop this down 20. And we'll call this one HP, just like that. Add a plus, string, and we'll draw HP. And then one more time for the alarm. So we'll start it at 30, we'll drop this down 20, which will be a 60. We'll call this alarm. Pretty original, right? And we'll do string, and we'll draw the alarm. There we go. So now let's go ahead and see what's going on. Okay, well, let's see what's going on first. There's the alarm. There's his action. Boom! But unfortunately, nothing is going to happen again because we did not make the alarm reset. So let's go ahead and go back to alarm. Now, if you wanted the alarm to reset based on the attack, you would just put it inside of each action, you know. And that can be depending on your game, of course. Like, let's say he fired a bazooka, so now it's going to take him 4 seconds before he reloads it, before he can attack again. Or if he decides to move to the right, well then he might just have to wait 2 seconds now, you know, and so on and so on, etc. You can actually reset the timer based on the action that happened. For the sake of this video, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. If you were going to do it for each one, you will simply just put alarm 0 equals 89 here. Then you might put, okay, he moved right. His left leg is bad, so whenever he moves, or his right leg is bad, so whenever he moves to the right, he has to wait longer before he can attack. And you'll do it just like that. But for this video, this tutorial, crap, I wasn't trying to do that. I'm not going to actually reset it for each action that the enemy decides to do. Instead, I'm just going to go outside of the switch, just like that, and then reset the alarm. So regardless of his action, it will always be 60 times. It will always be 3 seconds. Or not always be. He will always wait 3 seconds before he can attack again. There we go. Now this time, before we go back and test it, we're going to actually give the player some movement, so that he can actually dodge the bullets and all that kind of good stuff. So let's go ahead and just do a step event, and inside of here, player's movement. We'll give him a basic 4-direction movement, up, down, left, right. So if keyboard check, what's it gonna be? Org A. Let's move that out the way. Or keyboard what in the world? What's happening right now? Okay. Yeah, my computer is doing some weird stuff. Okay. Keyboard check. We'll do vert. And what is this? Left. So we'll do left. And X will minus equal 5. Yeah, I like putting these little comments in here. If gotta go ahead and copy this, change the A to D, and then change left to right. Do that. X plus equals 7. And then of course, go ahead and just add the up and down. And this one down. All right, so let's go ahead and test out this game and see what happens. As we see, the player can move. Enemy shoots a bullet. The enemy just healed itself because we started out at 300, so you can see the variables here. And the enemy just moved. Now, yes, you can do a lot more complex things. You can add a percentage, like a percentage chance on when the enemy will do a particular attack or whatnot like that. So yeah, there you have it. This is making enemy AI, artificial intelligence, and you can do a lot more complex stuff. There's really no limit to what you can do with something like this. It just The limit is your creativity, your imagination. You can add whatever. All right, well, there you have it. If you found this in any kind of way helpful or anything like that, just go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe as well, because I'm going to be making a lot more of these tutorials for Game Maker Studios. So yeah, again, thanks for watching, and remember, be real, be true, and be yourself. Later, guys.